Hi guys, and welcome back to the Pokemon Black Let's Play. This is my third time recording this, so hopefully it will go right this time. Before we carry on with the actual Let's Play, we've got some of the options to go through and check. So let's briefly recap over these options. The questions that I asked you in the last video were yes, no to a Nuzlocke. Battle style, is it going to be shift or is it going to be set? And the battle animations, are we going to keep them on or are we going to keep them off? I did get a couple of answers, admittedly not too many, but certainly enough answers to decide on these questions. So first of all, the Nuzlocke. It's not going to be a Nuzlocke run. We had one person answer this question and they said no to a Nuzlocke. So no, we don't need to set any Nuzlocke rules or anything else. Options. Let's see, battle scene. One person answered on for this, one person answered off. So that kind of leaves it up to me. Frankly, I don't see any reason why the battle scene should be off, because the animations are quite pretty, they don't take that much time, and we can always turn them off later if people get sick of them. So it might be in a later video I ask you again if you want to keep them on or off, and you can decide then if you think that maybe we should start having them off instead of on. So, you know, we'll keep them on for now. I see, no big deal. They're quite pretty, fun to look at, you know. And maybe someone out there hasn't played Pokemon. Battle style, shift set. For those who can't remember, the battle style on shift would let me change Pokemon after making the opponent's Pokemon faint. Set means that I can't do it. Both people who answered here didn't necessarily answer in any particularly clear way. They did suggest, however, that they wanted it on set instead of shift. So what we're going to do is we're going to pretend they said, I want to see battle style on set. And that was their answer. So battle style is going to be on set, and it's going to be the first time I've played a Pokemon game with battle style to set as well. So we're going to have to see how this goes, but it should be fun. I see no reason why it shouldn't. So that's our options sorted out. No Nuzlocke, style on, and set. So with that done, let's take a look at our Pokemon again and remind ourselves of the last video. We have Snivy, Forced. He was our first Pokemon. He will soon be joined by another Pokemon. And then we had to go up to the first route of the game where Bianca and Sharon are waiting. You can't see me, I'm pointing at the screen. Bianca and Sharon. And then we need to go see Professor Juniper, who's waiting further up on Route 1. But we're not going to do that quite yet, because there's something else we need to talk about, and that is about the routes in this game. Some of the routes are kind of long, particularly things like Charterstone Cave or Victory Road. Some of them have puzzles in, and I really have no true intention of recording all the routes in this game. I'm sorry. So I'll record Route 1. You know, in case anyone doesn't know how Pokemon goes, and they can see that there. But after that, I can't really say that I'll be recording the entire route. I'll stop at important events. I might stop for a Pokemon that I'm going to catch if we find it. But other than that, you can expect me to cut the majority of route scenes out. Unless, of course, you want me to keep them in, which would make a long video. Why don't you answer that question, viewer? You tell me, do you want routes on or do you want routes off? And now, to get on with our LP. Let's go! So, remember the first thing that we have to do is go up and say hello to Sharon and Bianca. So, let's go and do that. And, oh, isn't that sweet? They want us all to take our first step at the same time. It would help if I could talk, wouldn't it, really? So, the professor's waiting up here, and this is going to be the obligatory how do you catch Pokemon that you were given in every single game. You can't skip it, sadly. So, we're just gonna have to watch and have a look what happens. So, wild Patrat appears at level 2. Oh joy. And basically this is the kind of Pokemon for noobs business. What you do if you have a person who doesn't know how to play Pokemon and has no idea how to catch one. Personally, I always thought it was rather obvious, and after you've been playing this game for 5 generations, and you've been playing, you know, the multiple games in each generation, this really gets redundant. And I kind of wish Nintendo would, you know, not include it anymore. It's really unnecessary. I don't know a single person, even if they've not played Pokemon, who doesn't know how to catch one. But that's the professor treating you like you're stupid, and telling you that you can also put Pokemon to sleep or paralyze them in order to make them weaker. You can also burn them and poison them, but this tends to kill them if they're on low HP, and that's not really advisable. And Charon is going to be a snooty little asshole again and point out she also forgot to tell you Pokemon will attack you in tall grass. But again, everybody knows this. So Bianca's going to challenge us to a fun little game about who can catch the most Pokemon on this route. I actually followed this game the first time doing this because I actually thought it would get me something, and it doesn't, okay? So for anyone who's playing through this game, don't listen to Bianca. It doesn't matter if you catch 50 or 1. We're going to go and catch 1. Oh, let's see what it is. It's going to be a Lillipup. Lillipup's quite useful if you can get one with pickup at this point in the game, because they can pick up potions and such like, which is useful. So let's try and catch this Lillipup. I'm going to tackle it, just like the professor told us, and, God damn it, Forrest. God damn it. Okay, we're not going to catch that particular Lillipup, I guess. Let's see what we get. We get another Lillipup that's good. And it's at level 4, that's even better. That means that my asshole Snivy can't actually knock it out with a critical hit on the first hit. So we will catch this Lillipup. Couple of tackles. We should be good to go. Obviously I can't tackle it again at this point because otherwise I'd kill it. So no tackle first, we're just going to have to throw a Pokeball at it. Normally Pokemon on this route are pretty easy to catch, and sometimes you don't even have to lower their HP, it's just kind of a good habit to get into, I suppose. But they are relatively easy to catch, so there we go. We've caught our Lillipup. He's male, so let's think of a name for him. I enjoy naming all my Pokemon. It's Lillipup's Pokédex data. It's a puppy Pokemon. Based on the Yorkshire Terrier. So let's think of a name for him. I'm thinking... how about Roland? I like the name Roland. And obviously it'll sound really cool when he's a big, giant, fat stoutland, assuming I keep him that long. Roland will sadly probably become a HM slave later in the game. I guess we'll have to find out. So let's take a look at Roland. Let's see. He's got a calm nature and he's capable of taking hits. So his special defense gets a boost and his attack gets taken away, which, no, it's not the best. He also had Vital Spirit, you saw there. I think one of these trainers will give me a potion. Yeah, so Roland doesn't have pickup, which is kind of a shame, but I'm not going to go out my way to catch another one that does, because that would get wasted. Ah, there we go, there's my potion. This is the first potion of the game that you can get for free. Let's find another Pokemon so I can level Forrest up, because he's so close to level 7. Get another Lillipup. So, again, in the previous games you could also get a potion from your computer, but you can't do that in this generation, or at least you certainly couldn't when I tried. So the first potion of the game in here is given to you by a trainer, whereas anyone who can remember so far back to red, blue, or gold and silver, remember you can get one from your PC and then get one from one of the trainers on the routes. So there we go, level 7. Our special attack went up by 2, and we learned Vine Whip! Hooray! Vine Whip is always cool. Let's go through here and Charon and Bianca again. You can say no, but I think she compares your Pokemon anyway, so it's not really worthwhile saying no. And we all have caught 2 Pokemon, and this is why it really doesn't matter if you catch 3 or not. Professor Juniper's being incredibly impatient, isn't she? She rings you, and you are literally 1 minute away from the Pokemon Center. I mean, seriously, look, she's right there, ready there. See her? Was there any need to call, Professor? Also, funnily enough, we're going to play a game of Spot the Charon. He says that he comes in here to take the tour. Where is Charon? You'll notice Charon's not actually in here. So, although he says he's going to go and see the Professor, he obviously went, saw the Professor, and said, "Bitch, I don't need your help," and then walked off. What an asshole. This is the obligatory showing you how to use a Pokemon Center and a Pokemon that you also get in previous games. But the good thing about Black and White is that they put the Pokemon and the Pokemon Center together, so you finally don't have to be taken all around the first town of the game by some strange old man you don't know to see where everything is. It's quite useful as well. Sadly, the Pokemarts here really aren't that useful for very much. You'll probably only use them for buying Pokeballs and such like. Professor's telling you to go see Fennel in the next city, blah blah blah. No one cares, Professor, go away. We know what we're doing. Bianca's gonna sit and think what to buy. But we don't need anything, because we like vending machines. Sounds like something's going on at the plaza. Ooh. What could this be? Let's take a look. There's a crowd of people. Huh. There's cheering as well. Who's this? Creepy weird dude in some clothes. He's Gets this. I've said his name. Yeah, I don't care. He's an idiot. Let's call him idiot. Let's see. He's talking about Pokemon. Being partners at work, but getting pushed around. What a noble speech, sir. Noble speech. Obviously, he's trying to, manipulate the crowd. So, basically, because I really can't be bothered to go and read all this out in some big, booming, idiot voice, the gist of what he says is, simply put, you should release your Pokemon because you trainers are all stupid, and that's pretty much the gist of it. It really is. Who's this guy with the green hair? Apparently he talks too fast. Everyone talks too fast in this game with text speed on fast though. His name's N. It's a funny name. Just N? God, your parents must have hated you. Kinda like the parents in the East who called their child like after Facebook. I mean, why would you do that? He's gonna challenge me to a battle because he wants to hear my Pokemon talk. And of course, we all know that Pokemon can't actually talk, but apparently this guy can hear their voices. He's going to use Purloin. For this fight, I always tend to start off with a Leer. Normally, it gets countered with the stat decrease that, yeah, there you go, Growl. So normally, Leer's made kind of useless, but it's good to start off just in case. But I do pretty good damage with Tackle on this thing, so we'll just go with Tackle Spam, because it doesn't do that much with Scratch. Short of it getting an amazing critical hit, it's not going to win this. Purloin is a dark type, so there's really no point in using Vine Whip at all. Just go with Tackle because it does enough damage. And there we go. That is down. Goodbye, Purloin. And that gives me a nice level as well. So, hooray! And being quite useful at the moment. And he's still going on about what my Pokemon's saying. Maybe he's calling me names. He obviously has some agreement with Getsus on releasing Pokemon, doesn't he? Or talking about releasing Pokemon and Pokemon voices. What a weirdo. Seriously, who calls that kid N? I mean, why would you do that, man? I think I need to be having words with this kid's mother, calling a guy N. As such, N will be appearing several times throughout this game, and he's I would call him your rival, but that's not really it. He's kind of not to try and give anything away for those who haven't played this game before. Shame on you if you're a Pokemon fan. Go buy it. It's a good game. He's the anti-hero of this game, pretty much. He's one of the first anti-heroes of the Pokemon game as well, in terms of the gaming universe, anyway. He kind of acts as a rival, in that you fight him multiple times throughout the game. So we'll see him later. The bulletin board. I don't tend to look at these, but it gets useful later on in the game when you have a particular roaming Pokemon, and you can come here and it'll tell you if there's the roaming Pokemon there with the weather. It tells you about the weather. It tells you about the next city. and I think it also alerts you to swarms once you get to the point of the game where you actually have swarms. So let's go on to Route 2, and hello, I have a call. Yes, good day. Oh, it's Mummy! I don't know where she's calling me from. She's obviously calling me from outside somewhere. That lovely copy-pasted background. Jesus! Was there any need to call me if you were, right behind me? What a stalker. However, despite the fact that our mother is a stalker, she does actually give us something very useful. She gives us the running shoes. And running shoes are very useful to get them so early on as well. One of the big complaints about previous games is that you get them really late. Running shoes will make us run around faster, and in this game, they also let you use your running shoes in buildings, which is really cool. That's a good thing, viewer. So we've got our running shoes, and I think this is probably a good time to end the LP. My recording seems to have ended a little bit early, so I'm going to have to give you some kind of picture, and it's going to be silent aside from my voice, but we'll ignore that, and we'll have to end the LP. I'll try and get the next part up perhaps later today if I end up having more time than I had now, and otherwise I will try and get it up tomorrow. So I will see you all, guys. Bye.